Hello everybody, MegaZard here, back at it again to give you another very exciting video. And for today, yes, I know I am late, but I knew I still needed to get my thoughts out here though. And we know last week we did happen to get a Nintendo Direct Mini from Nintendo, and goodness, this Direct Mini, okay, we had our sort of kind of iffy partner showcases with, the very first one, the major highlight being in that Shin Megami Tensei 5 getting a release date, and, Shin Megami Tensei 3 getting an HD remaster. And then the second one I thought did a little bit better, a lot more announcements than like the first one that only had 5 announcements though. And the major highlight for that with me was like Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 coming out in December though. But with most people had some really mixed reactions for those first two though. But then I think Nintendo finally managed to hit it out of the park with this one though. Because right off at the very beginning of the Direct, they just showcased, they didn't even talk. Like normally they're like, hey, this is our partner showcase and this is all the stuff we had coming to y'all today. No. They didn't even do that. They showed that logo first. They dove straight up into it though. And at first I was looking at that trailer and I was like, what the heck is this? I was like, whoa, this moves fast. And I was like, wait a minute. Is this Monster Hunter? And yes, it was Monster Hunter, the newest entry for the franchise called Monster Hunter Rise. And now originally with me, I'm not a really big Monster Hunter fan, and the main reason why that was is because I was looking at games like Monster Hunter Generations that was on 3DS that they managed to port over to the Switch. I don't know, for me, I just felt like the fighting was a little bit more sluggish though. But the key thing with this one is you had these sort of kind of little bugs that kind of like zip line you around, where you're able to combo off enemies and move really fast though. And then you're also able to ride on this wolf and be able to, take off like that. And I was like, you know what, this game actually seems like the combat in it is a little bit more faster, to the point where now it's starting to kind of look a little bit more appeasing to me. So I was like, dang, Capcom came out here swinging and hitting with that first game though. So honestly, I'm really intrigued on this though. And also, there's going to be 3 different amiibo that are going to be releasing for this game as well. So I was like, gosh dang, that was really cool though. But Capcom wasn't dumb, because immediately after they showcased on Monster Hunter Rise, they moved straight into Monster Hunter Stories 2. Now, the first story game came out on the 3DS, and this is sort of kind of like a bit more of an RPG mix into the Monster Hunter series though. And honestly, you know what, and I was looking at that game too, I was like, you know what, that game actually looks very intriguing as well though. So I was like, between Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter Stories 2, I was like, dang, Capcom really hitting it out of the park. And they weren't done technically with this Direct Mini in itself though, because they actually had a whole dedicated Monster Hunter Direct in itself. And I was like, oh my gosh, they really came out here swinging though. And in that, they actually kind of went a little bit more with the details of what this game is having to offer, more so with Rise than Stories 2 though, because Rise is coming out some point within the spring, within March, and then we have Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is coming out sometime within the summertime, both for 2021. So the matter of fact that yes, now we got some official 2021 games confirmed. I'm gonna have to keep my eye out on both of those games, because they, from the gameplay that they did showcase for us, was really cool, and they're gonna be showcasing more of the game more so as we get closer to launch as well though. But they really hit the mini direct off right off the bat from the very get-go though. Now the second thing they had to show was another Wii Fitness boxing game, and it's basically the sequel to the first fitness boxing game. And honestly, not too much to say about this. Your traditional Nintendo game that sort of kind of gets into exercising with going through boxing. They showcase off more trainers and stuff that you're going to be able to train with and stuff. Very cool for people that really like to have their sort of kind of like fitness games though. Maybe more so for the casual audience that really like get a little bit more exercise though. But a nice little addition for the Switch that's coming out in December though. And then moving on to the next thing, they had Disgaea 6. Now, this is, a pretty beefy RPG based upon the stuff I saw within Disgaea 5, and it's really cool and exciting that we, they're announcing this, and, it's coming here on the horizon as well, though. And also, they also mentioned that if you're a Nintendo Switch Online member, you're actually going to be able to have a free game trial for Disgaea 5. Now, from everything I'm hearing, those kind of games, they have like a crap ton of levels though. So it might be, I don't think you're going to be able to actually beat the whole entire Disgaea 5 within a week's time, unless you're just fully dedicated to, playing that game, and that's the only game you're playing for a week, and you have like a significant amount of time with it though. But honestly, that was a really good, nice announcement for Disgaea 6. Then they showcase all some other games like, you know, Empire of Sin, and then Sniper Elite 4. They showcase all games like that. You know, ain't kind of my cup of tea though, but for people that really like it though, you know, you got something like that. Then they went into like a scissor reel that showcased off a whole bunch of other different games coming off to the Switch though. And then after that, they said that, you know, the wonderful land of Wonder World is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Don't really know a lot about that game though, but I know there's a dedicated fan base towards that series as well though. So for all the fans that really been, you know, looking forward to trying to get one of those Wonder World games on there, hey, you know what, this is your game for you though. Now, the next thing was Room Factory 5. We knew this game was coming out on the Switch, and we hadn't really got to hear a whole bunch on it, though, but they finally came out and said, yes, this game is coming out in 2021. I was actually talking to some of my friends and said, you know what, if there are going to be some reveal showcase off within this partner showcase, I told them, I said I was expecting a new Monster Hunter game, and I was expecting some updates on Room Factory 5, and I did get it. Now, Room Factory 5 is basically like a harvest crop kind of game where, you know, you're protecting the town, you know, you're building up town, you know, collecting crops, and then also you can get married and stuff, and then you can also explore in dungeons and fight things and stuff. That's just basically the nature of Room Factory 5. So honestly, it kind of caught my eye a little bit. I might have to keep my eye out on that one as well, though. But yes, that one's coming out sometime in the near future within 2021, though. And then lastly, oh shoot, this was probably my personal highlight for the end of the Nintendo Direct Mini. They showed off none other than Ori Will of the Wisp. And I was like, oh freaking shoot, because like literally they showcased off, you know, Moon Studios. They didn't even have to show the name off. The second I saw that logo twisting around in the moon with those faint white lines twisting like that, I was like, like I was so ready for it. And I was like, dang. And they literally shadow dropped that on that day. I was like, I was certainly not expecting this at all. Like I knew that we might have eventually got Ori Will of the Wisp, but I was thinking, you know what, I might have to wait a little bit. And also, Microsoft, you know, just recently launched xCloud, where you're technically going to be able to stream any of their games on Game Pass. So I was thinking to myself, I might have to get xCloud to play Ori Will of the Wisp, though. But then they turn around the very next day and say, you know what, in this Direct Mini, hey, we're shadow dropping this today, though. That game is out right now, and it costs $30. The original was $20, but this one is $30, and I already bought it. I played a little bit of it, and honestly, I really enjoy it. Some of the best platforming I have played in recent memory since Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. In terms of like the newer releases, like leading up to like current modern day time now, though. But man, oh gosh, if you hadn't played an Ori game, definitely highly recommend you playing the first one. Then you can move over to the second one. First one's a little bit more cheaper, and you know, if you like the first one, then you can, you know, go ahead and get the second one though. But man, oh man, that was a way to end the Direct Mini though. And I was like, gosh, this whole entire Direct Mini, I definitely say it's my favorite between all of the three. The first one was cool for the sake of, you know, we're finally able to get Shin Megami Tensei 5. Drop their release date for that, as well as, you know, the surprise that Shin Megami Tensei 3 is an HD remaster though. It was cool for that, but if you were to take those couple announcements out of the first one, you weren't really left with a lot of stuff. Although the Japanese one was a little bit better and had a little more announcements on it though. The second one got a little bit better, had a little bit more variety. It was hugely rhythm based for people that really love rhythm games. Hey, you basically got your fill on that one though. But in this one, I just felt like it was just hitting out the park. However, I do notice if you're maybe not a fan of, you know, Monster Hunter, or if you're not probably a fan of Ori, this one might not have done it for you though. But honestly, for me though, hey, this hit all of my expectations for what a partner showcase should technically be. If, you know, within everything that's up in here is going to be basically third parties. We did get a little bit of a first party with, you know, the fitness box, you know, but outside of that, yeah, this is basically everything I sort of kind of expected it to. But let me know down in the comment section down below what all you think about this Nintendo Direct Mini, whether or not it impressed you or it didn't impress you. I did notice on that like to dislike ratio on their video, as of this moment, it's 49,000 likes to 3.1 thousand dislikes. So that like to dislike ratio is so much better and a little bit more accepting in terms of like what we normally get with those general directs from way back in the day. Yeah, it's been like a whole year since we had the last general direct. So I'm like, good night though. But y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section down below what all do you think about this though. So that's about it for my video though. So if you really like this review, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things Nintendo related that's happening. You know what, we had that Mario 3D All-Stars that just recently released as well though. I'm gonna have to say my thoughts on it either within a separate video, maybe a podcast. I'm not sure exactly which one I will do though, but I'm gonna get my thoughts out there one way or the other though. So you know, stay tuned to the channel for that though. And as always, y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.